All right, the main movie tonight, Haunted Mansion, in theaters right now, is directed by Justin Simeon, who was almost the Lando guy, as I mentioned earlier. And this movie apparently was going to be helmed by Guillermo del Toro years ago, which would have starred Ryan Gosling. That would have been a much better movie than what we got. This one had a great cast of Tiffany Haddish, Lakeith Stanfield, who's awesome in it. He carries the movie. Of course, he's the main guy, too. It's cool to see him star in roles. He doesn't really star in films or television shows. Like Get Out was a small bit. Atlanta, he's a co-star. Sorry to Bother You, he starred in. So it's cool that he got to star in this. This also has Rosario Dawson, Danny DeVito, Jamie Lee Curtis, Owen Wilson. Really great cast. Now, we tried this movie before with Eddie Murphy years ago. People didn't like that. This movie was very fun. It had a lot of cool moments, a great idea of when you walk through the house, you're stuck in that house. So Rosario Dawson's character and her son try to recruit an exorcist by hiring a priest, Owen Wilson. He gets stuck in the house and he recruits Lakeith Stanfield's character, and now he's stuck in the house too. So I like that hook. The problem with the movie is a bit mixed on comedy, drama, and like kid fun. And is it scary? It seems like there is a lot of hands in this pot. Too many cooks in the kitchen. It feels like this movie went through a lot of different reshoots. Maybe not a lot of different reshoots, but it was just jumbled up. It didn't seem like they had a clear understanding of what the movie was because I was confused a lot of times. I don't want to say the movie isn't good, but it is confusing. It's fun, though, if you want to take your kids. It had some moments that I laughed very hard at in the theater. One in particular was the sketch artist scene, I will say. Poppin or not, I would say you can go ahead and wait for this to be on Disney Plus if you want your kids to shut up, but they want to get out of the house. Check out Haunted Mansion instead of Barbie, unless you're trying to take your teens out. Then go check out Barbie. Now, if you want to have a date night with an R-rated horror movie, check out Talk to Me. It is a poppin' Australian horror film where a group of teens get high playing with a supernatural dismembered arm used as a vessel to talk with the dead. This was done by Danny and Michael Philippou. Sorry for butchering your names. They are the twin brothers that had the YouTube channel Raka Raka. Never heard of it before. Checked out some videos. I didn't actually watch any. I watched little bits. They're wild. They're a wild bunch. So it's cool to see that these action comedy YouTubers make a really decent horror film in 2023. This movie was all over the place, but in a great way. It had a very coherent storyline compared to Haunted Mansion. This film might have been funnier, to be honest. There's a lot of funny bits, and it does make you think. There's one montage scene of them all using the hand where you're like, is this supposed to be a comedy? I was a little confused. And then they really do something scary. So they did do a good job of having fun, but also having a scary movie. The star of this film, which I haven't seen before, her name's Sophie Wilde. She crushes it. And I think a star of a horror film has a very difficult task when they need to balance fear and calm for their character at the same time. I've seen this before with Sosie Bacon in Smile, which you can watch on Paramount Plus. Sophie Wilde does a really great. Sophie Wilde did a really great job doing this in Talk to Me. So props to her. Props to the film. It's a metaphor of taking drugs and being close to death even after loss. One of the best endings I've seen in a horror movie, and I don't want to tell you what it is, but it's very, very good. This ending left me so satisfied that it reminded me of the satisfying ending of The Witch with Anya Taylor-Joy. So it's a great date movie. It's extremely well made. The only negatives there are is that it's not the scariest movie, but that's fine. It still has tense parts. It's almost too goofy sometimes, but that's what makes it fun. And it has a bunch of frustrating teenage characters, but that's the point. Whenever there's a teenage character in a movie and they're being frustrated, that means it's being realistic. So check this movie out in theaters right now.